For me, the most important step in this whole shop thing was figuring out how many people would be actually willing to buy my stuff and what that stuff would be. And since I want you to know how I did everything step by step, let's start at the actual beginning. I have maintained a pretty consistent presence on my Instagram art account for the past half a year or so. I uploaded new art once every week or 2 weeks, did a small Poland-only giveaway, and grew my follower base to 1K. By the way, thank you to everyone of you guys. I had a few of you ask me if I was selling any prints, so I knew that at least 5 people would be interested in buying my stuff. I decided to go with a few different prints in quite small sizes and a few stickers. I didn't really feel the need to design or draw new stuff. I felt I had all the art I need. After choosing the designs, I created mock-ups of them as prints and as stickers and put the whole thing on my Instagram story in the form of yes and no polls. And I stated very clearly that you should only vote if you intend to buy the actual product later on. To my surprise, a lot of people participated in voting, and I had a fair amount of positive votes. I waited 24 hours until voting was over and wrote down the exact amount of positive answers. And to be completely fair, I know not all of those people are going to buy my stuff later on, so when I was ordering the prints and stickers, I lowered the amount quite a bit. I can always order more if needed. To print, I chose a local business, a print shop that's based in the city I live, that has good prices and good quality prints. And I strongly advise you to do test prints before you print, especially if you are printing scanned traditional art pieces. I was not happy when I received the first prints and sticker sheets. To be completely honest, I actually cried out of anger at myself and at the print shop. I expected to get it right the first time around, and this did not happen at all. The prints, quality-wise, they were very good, but they were absolutely too dark. I only ordered one batch of prints, but I did have to order 10 sticker sheets, which was the minimal amount, so that kind of sucked that they didn't really turn out the way I wanted them to. I figured next time I want to print there, I had to prepare the files the right way. I need to compensate for the darkening by lightening the designs. I also tested out different settings and ordered prints a few times, experimenting with adding green tints and adding more contrast. Finally, I settled on the right settings for every print and ordered a bigger batch. And I have to say, they came out very good. I nailed the contrast and the colors, and I'm very happy with all of the prints. The nice lady who runs the print shop actually approached me and told me about UV printing and that my stickers would look way better and last longer. Even though it's more expensive, the stickers look absolutely amazing, and most importantly, they last very long and are very, very resistant to damage. I was actually super nervous about ordering them, but they came out beautifully. I would advise everyone to be very patient when it comes to this step. You may not get it right the first time round, and sometimes it takes a long while to get the prints looking the way you want them to. I saw a few other artists use thick cardboard envelopes to ship their prints. I found a business that makes them locally here in Poland and ordered a small amount. To further secure the prints and stickers, I needed something like tissue paper. And custom printed tissue paper was, well, out of the question for me. I know it's very nice and fancy, but it's just a bit too expensive, for now at least. I knew I could secure the product some other way, and after a while, I settled on simple brown paper bags, which are made out of recycled paper. I figured I could order the longer version of those bags and use them to package both the prints and the stickers. I cut them apart and use one piece to package the prints, and the other one I cut it apart and packaged the stickers as if I was using tissue paper. I also stamp both of them with this little DIY stamp, which is another thing I want to tell you about. I really wanted a stamp, and not only to stamp the prints but also to decorate the packaging. I didn't customize the envelopes or the paper bags, so a stamp would make everything seem more fancy and cohesive. And since I wanted to invest more into the stickers and prints themselves, I thought that I would just DIY a stamp rather than order it, since it's not really that cheap. The only thing I bought was a simple black stamping pad. At first I tried my luck with Linocut. I had some pieces of linoleum lying around since my first year of college and a few old Linocut tools. The stamp itself turned out quite well, but the Linocut doesn't really work well with the stamping pad for some reason. I think it might be something about the surface of the lino or the firmness of it. Anyway, I saw some DIY stamp videos on YouTube and a lot of people recommended using erasers. So I carved the design onto a piece of Milan eraser, which was very pleasant to work with, I have to say. It was pretty soft, but firm enough to let me carve out very small details. And thus, the stamping madness began. And there is something really satisfying about stamping stuff. At first, I started with prints, carefully marking each one. I also decided it would be good to include my Instagram handle. And since it's so short, it wasn't that much work, but I don't think I would recommend it to people with longer names and stuff. Carving letters is quite frustrating, and honestly, it's just very easy to ruin your whole stamp. Besides marking the prints, I also marked the envelopes and the brown paper bags. Signing was a no-brainer for me. I always appreciate artists signing their works, even if they are just prints, so I signed all of the prints and made sure to include the year as well. And I used a micron pen that is super long lasting and won't fade with time. When it comes to shipping, every country has different shipping costs and offers different shipping services, so, just make sure you research properly before setting a shipping price. Prices are a fiddly thing, and I don't think I can give anyone advice here. I didn't want my prices to be too high for a start, so I lowered them a bit compared to the prices I've seen artists give online. My printing costs weren't too high, but if I were to print in a more expensive shop on a more expensive paper or using a more expensive printing technique, I would definitely include that difference in the final price. Okay, so this is very important. Make sure to do your research about the legal side of business in your country beforehand. I asked my friends about the matter and consulted the internet. And for example, now I know that my income from this cannot be higher than about $360 a month if I want to keep it as an unregistered business. To sell my products, I chose Etsy. It's a platform some of my friends use and recommend. You pay for listing your products and there is a fee when you use Etsy payment, but generally it's quite a good option when you are starting a small business like this. You can easily navigate your orders, they are always very clearly displayed, not to mention the statistics of how people found you, how many visits you had. Selling through Instagram was a huge mess, and here everything is always perfectly clear. What I have found very helpful is actually Etsy ads. I was surprised to see that they actually work pretty well, and even though my daily budget is only $1, some people have actually found me through the ads and bought some things. It's also super helpful to see which listings are clickable and bring people into your page. I opted for simple previews of my products. I took a few photos of my prints and photoshopped them onto the pole background just to go along with the theme I set with the shop update. I also included one close-up shot of every print and the stamp and sign in the back. I spent some time tweaking the colors in Photoshop, tried to make it resemble the final print in terms of color and contrast as much as I could, and even though I think they are very close to the real thing, I always include a disclaimer in my listing that the colors may be different since people have differently calibrated displays. Okay, so let me just say, that this is all very, very time consuming. You have to be aware that preparing everything to even open the shop, not to mention the packaging and sending stuff, is going to take a long while. What took me the most time was definitely tweaking the scans to make them look the best in print as possible. This just quickly added up to more than a month of just going back and forth. You should also have a bit of extra money at the start to spend it not only the actual prints but also test prints and any fails along the way. All of this aside, I'm actually enjoying all of this greatly and I'm learning a lot. Okay, I want to be 100% honest with you about how I felt after I've opened my shop. A small part of me really wanted to have that huge, splendid, all sold out shop opening, and maybe that will happen someday. But right now my shop is just a tiny little baby. And when you are a tiny little baby shop, every order makes a difference and feels like a big win. But I won't lie to you, that small part of me tried to sour my joy from getting my first 2 orders the night of the opening. But I decided not to let that get to me. It's been a full week since the launch and I got 6 orders from y'all. And the thing with being such a small business is that you have time to figure out how to pack your orders, make them more personal, and generally get a hang of it all without being rushed. But really, the best and most heartwarming thing is definitely getting your messages, you telling me how happy you are, you have my pin or my prints or original art. Making people happy is just the best feeling ever. Thank you for embarking on this very exhausting and time-consuming, but ultimately really, really fun ride that, is ongoing because my shop is still open and you can buy some cool stuff there. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like if you liked the video and maybe subscribe to join my Dudes Club. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.